Hello everyone and welcome to the Vauxhall Corsa. Today I'm going to be attempting to replace the speakers in the front doors of this Corsa. One of them is making farty noises. I believe it's defective, and they will be the original speakers that were installed in the late 90s when the car was built. The car has a Grundig cassette radio head unit, the original one. It's a Grundig Car 200 unit, very special, and I'm going to leave that as it is for now. So the stereo currently sounds
normally on my usual
bit like this
on Radio 2 every morning. We do this about
it's
10
a bit
past 6-ish in the morning.
yeah, you can hear it. It sounds okay.
Great
But when we get a bass beat going on this, you can really hear that it's quite bad.
Our listeners, our Daleks, get to choose a song.
Well,
so this is Kaylee from Manchester, who went for a trip.
And actually, you can hear that the cone's distorting on there. So I'm going to swap them over. Let's see how we get on. It's also raining outside, so I don't really want to go outside. I'm going to start by taking things to bits in here. You can watch from over here as I do that, and I'll show you different bits of this as we go along. If I can get you to stand up. There we go. So the door panel's over here. Obviously I'm in the way. I'm going to get out of the way and get out into the rain so you can see what's happening. We've got a door handle winder down here for the window. That's got to come off, and lots of screws that hold it on. So first thing I'm going to do is get a little tool, which I've just made up out of a bit of what is that, coat hanger. I'm going to put it behind here and see if I can find the little latch for the handle somewhere. Right, now that clip just came off the handle. I can now pull the handle off, and you'll find on this handle there is a little groove into which this clip goes. So that clip, I'll put it back in, it goes into here, clips, that goes onto the, so it's on the opposite end to the handle. There we go. That's how it needs to be when you push it back on. But to get that clip out, you can see it's tucked right behind this handle. So you need to be able to get something in, either to push on the ends of these to push them out, or a little hook thing like this to get underneath it and pull it out, which is what I did. So there you go, that's how you get the handle off. It's difficult to show, I didn't show it up close because it's quite hard to see. Yeah, there we go. Right, so let's pop you up on here. You can see what's going on over there. Yeah. Oh, that's lovely. Just what you wanted, actually. There you go. Come on here. Hurry. So there's lots of screws that need to be undone. These I'm getting the screwdriver in it. There it is. There's obviously a Phillips screw. There's that Phillips screwdriver's gone in there. It feels very nice. There we go. There it is. Phillips screw. Oh, there it is. Phillips screw. I'm just going to store these all safely on the passenger seat. There's another one down here. Which is down there. There it is. Over there. another one. There's a few of these. Let's open the door. Stop raining now, which is nice. And have a look at where the others are. So you can see there's two here, and there's a hole there. There we go. Let's do that one. Da-de-da-de-da. I've never taken one of these off. You might find that it's a two-part panel and I didn't need to do the handle. I don't know, it's a voyage of discovery. There is no screw in that hole. There is a screw in this hole. That's good. There you go. Oops, those two. There was a washer behind this handle as well, a nice flat plate that sort of disappeared down here somewhere. To try and find out where that went before I put it all back together. Oh, there it is. Yeah, there you go. So that's from behind the handle. So that needs to go back on with the handle later. Now, what else we got? Oh, there's a hole under here. And another screw. Right, little heads on these, tricky to get into. There we go, another screw. There's one. There's one. On a modern car, they don't bother with all this, they just put clips. They just pull the thing off. But not on the old older cars. That's another one, must be another one over here. There's another one here. Horrible weather. Welcome to England. Now, it's looking loose. I think there might be one behind a plate here. That feels tight. So at the top here, there's a plate behind here. So I'm just going to see if I can get a little screwdriver and get behind that. Not sure how it comes off. Having never done this before. Or whether it comes off at all. Okay, so you just give it a pull at that end and it falls off. There we go, cover. It's got a couple of clips. How did that was hold on? Curious. Exactly what's on. There's clips at the end holding it on, so you have to pull it off of this front end. That's fine. Just pull that off, ease it off. Then there's two screws underneath. That's one. A lot of screws in this door. Now I think that this panel here is going to need to come off as well. So that will be covering the panel too. Unless this doesn't want to separate. We'll keep going. We find later that it splits apart. See if this come off. It's off. Big Meccano set. Alright, lying down on the job. Okay, so this just has some clips behind it. I've just pulled it off, and it'll clip back on again afterwards. What it's revealed, of course, is another screw underneath. There's a screw under here. There you go, see it now. Just wind that out. And normally with these panels, once you've got everything loose, you can then sort of pull them away from the door, but you have to pull them upwards as well to lift it off the window reveal. Right. Oh, there are 2 screws around the end. Of course there are. I did things right in the 90s. There we go, 2 more screws, hurrah. That's now loose, there we go. And I don't want this to come up. Cool, it's tight. Let's see if winding the window down helps. So we take the pressure off that joint. It doesn't really help. There we go. Pop this in the back of the car for safekeeping. Now, the observant among you will have noticed that this is absolutely kippered, which is why we're here. I'm going to replace this with a new speaker and an adapter. So I've got some adapters that I bought on the internet which will fit where this is, if they're needed. Probably will. And I've got some speakers which are supposedly the right size to fit. So we'll have a go and see if it's a direct swap. Here's open. More screws. These are shorter screws. There's 3 of these. You can see this door has never had anyone go into it. It's all sealed up as it was originally, which is quite amazing. It tells me no one's ever smashed the window, no one's ever changed glass. It's good. Does this come off? Yeah, this comes off. Right, and on here we've got there's a connector at the back. I'm going to take off. He says, hoping. It's not been off in 25 years. Got a screwdriver under there. Give it a pry. Come on. Convince it to come on. Yeah. That's rather unkeen. Why it's so unkeen? Let's get a different screwdriver. don't know why that didn't want to come out of there, but it didn't. As you can see, totally knackered, falling to bits. And we now have a plug that's a bit knackered too, but never mind. Not sure it actually matters, because if I were to open up this box and have a look, I doubt whether, I suspect they've probably got standard spade connectors on them anyway. Let's have a look, see what we got in here. They provide us with some cable, which is nice, and it has standard spade connectors on it, as I thought. What else have we got in here? Oh, a load of screws. That's exciting. These are lovely little JVC cones. But yeah, they've got a standard pair of spade connectors on the back, which is what you'd expect of normal speakers. So we're going to have to, more than likely, we'll have to cut that connector off, and we'll joint onto the cable they give us, and that joint will sit behind there. I'll do see if I can do perhaps do some crimp joints on it. I will need to dash back to the shed to get the crimper. Right, let's see if this thing fits. We've got here 2 of these. Presumably are the same as each other. They are. There we go. And they're going to go presumably on here. That doesn't line up. That. Yeah, that lines up. So, reusing the screws. That can go in there. Oh, this is exciting. That can go in there. That can go there. Give that a tweak. Oh, come on. There we go. That can go there. Another brown and a blue on this, so we can use that to do it the same on the other side. Because I'm going to do both of these. There we go. Right, so now I need to change that for the end of these cables. Let's have a look in this bag. What they give us is 2 little short cables, one for each side. It's nice of them. Just, yeah, it's only a little cable, but it's got the spade connectors that we need, and yeah, and it's got stripped pins, so you can do what you want with it. Now, as I said, I'm going to go and get a crimp tool, I think, to do these. That would probably be best. So I can just crimp these on. I'll cut it shorter as well. So, give me 20 seconds and I'll be back with you. Right, here I am, back again. The crimp tool. If you haven't got a crimp tool, a load of crimps, you could use some connector blocks, you know, the chocolate block type connectors. But, these are really nice, neat way of doing things. There is a window that comes down past here, so you don't really want to be risking cable fouling up on that. So we want to keep it quite short. This is obviously quite short as it is, so I don't want it much longer than that. So I'm going to be just using a couple of inches of the cables. These are little straight through crimps, and the crimp tool will squash the cable into those. So I'm just taking a couple of those out. This car's only got front speakers, so as long as I do both the same. And so I got a blue wire here, which I'm going to put to the sort of smaller of the two spades, and the other side hopefully will have a blue as well, and the brown one will go to the bigger, so I'll make sure that they're the same on both sides. I need a pair of wire cutters. Now, I spent years working with cables, so I know that I can quite easily cut these off. Obviously the ignition is off, the car is off, the radio is off. I'm going to cut them separately anyway. Disconnect your battery if you're worried. Just going to strip some of this off using these wire cutters, which I can do quite easily without damaging the wires inside, because I've done it about 1 million times. So I know it's not going to damage it. Use wire strippers if you're worried. Now I'm going to cake some of this just back to here, short length. Separate these out. Now, what did I say? Big one on the brown. There we go. I'm just going to strip the same amount. I'm going to twist those together like so. I could go straight through with these. I don't think it actually matters on this. As I say, as long as it doesn't interfere with the window, that's the important thing. This could go into here. There we go. That cable's up inside there now. Need to get the crimp on this. It's all getting a bit tight for space, but that's okay. Get it the right way around. And crimp like so. So that's now on there. It's crimping the cable together. I'm going to do both ends just so that it definitely crimps it. So, and I'll do it again all the way along, just for good measure. There we go. Right, that's the big one. Gonna do the little one too. Here's the little one. Little one. Just take the end off. Shoot off. There we go. The blue one is the little one, and that'll be the same on the other side, so that the cones move in the same, towards each other. You don't want the cones moving as one, because they would actually cancel out the noise in the car. It would get a very strange effect. The polarity is important on speakers, and make sure you get the right polarity. And this way around. There we go. Exciting. Don't think I've used crimps in my videos before. There we go, have now. Right. So there we go. I should be able to put these onto my speaker. And the speaker has got a sort of symbol on it to be a particular way up, but that's not going to matter on this. I'm actually more concerned about the cables being out of the way. just pushing these spades onto the connectors on the back of here, like so. And if I can get this so that they're around the side like that, then I will. I want them, yeah, so that these cables are tight, they're not loose out the back, because I don't want the window to hit the cables. So that's okay, that lines up. Just looking at these holes. Now there are 4 holes, and obviously I need 4 screws to go in them. As I said earlier, they give us some screws. So I'm just going to have a quick look at what they've given us in this packet, which is the world's hardest package to open because they've wrapped sellotape around it. Thank you, JVC, for making life really hard. Open it up. Oh, hopefully there's no hole in it. Now, interestingly, what we have here is little clips and screws. So the clips go around things, they're going to have to go onto the plastic, and then the screws will go through them to clamp them up. You see that type of thing on sort of car panels and things. So I'll just drop this out, and let's have a look at these screws first. Let's just see if these screws actually wind through and fit into here without these clips. They may have given us the clips and the clamps just in case we needed them, and actually what we probably need is just the clamps. I'm slightly concerned this is going to wind through and hit metalwork of the car. Which it is. Yeah, so that's hit the metalwork of the car, which is very annoying. And they haven't given us different length screws. Crikey crumbs. Did they actually say how they were expecting this to be fitted? Oh yes, they did. They say cut a hole and fit the clips. They're assuming you're going to fit this in a blank panel. Totally get it. Great, but actually I'm not fitting it in a blank panel. I'm fitting it into this plastic thing that I've bought. So the screws are fine at the bottom. Line them in, but they're too long at the top. Let's put the bottom ones in, then we know we've done that much. And I'll trim down the other screws. I might have to go and cut them with a hacksaw. Not sure I'm going to bother filming this whole fit back together process. Do we really need to do that? Do you need to see that? No. Let's see how we go. I do want to turn it on and see what it sounds like. Just for good humour.
A flagpole like a twig, and took the tree down in the back garden and it fell on the conservatory.
Okay. Sounds good. So, if I'm going to put these screws in without them hitting the bodywork, they obviously need to be shorter. Not sure that my wire cutters up to the job. So I need to cut 2 down. So in fact I need to cut 4 down. Tell you what, come with me to the shed and we'll cut down some screws. It's always good to see the job through. I know you love it. workshop. Next down. Vise, there's the vise. Right, key. Screws. And so I'm just going to take the last ½ inch of these. So it's worth winding the screws into the holes before you then put the screws that have got the bottoms cut off through. It doesn't take much just to take off a bit of screw. I don't know why they made them overlong anyway, really. Bit daft. Never mind. We don't care. We've got a vise and a hacksaw. There it is. I could do this all day. Right, so now I have 4 shorter screws, which will hopefully fit in the holes without hitting against the bodywork of the car. I don't really want the screws hitting the bodywork of the car because any vibration might make horrible noise when you're listening to your radio, which is a great shame. I did the 4 because there's 2 for the passenger side and 2 for the driver's side. There we go. Back to the car. Hello, car. Let's prop you up again. Oh. There we go. So now when I get one of these shorter ones, that'll fit into here without bottoming out on the door. I'm kind of hoping that, because I've wound a screw in it before, it might actually go in. Maybe I'm being a bit optimistic. And realistic, that's good. So it's worth putting in a full length screw to make the thread in the hole on these cases before you put the shorter one in, because the shorter one doesn't have a point anymore. So there we go, I'm winding a long one in just to make sure that hole is okay. Then I'll take it out again. And get one that I cut. Wind that in its place, if I can. Like that. There we go. Right, so those are all wound in. The thing is connected. Now all I need to do is put the panel back on. And where did I put it? Around the back seat. There it is. Here's the panel. Now this should cover over the new speaker bracket because it's designed to fit. We're going over the top of the door first. Going over the little lock pin. It has to go over the. There's a lock pin at the end. It's got to go over that, and it's got to go over the top edge of the door. Doesn't help that this window's down all the way. Bring that up a bit. if we remember what we did and do it backwards. I've got hundreds of screws here, a ridiculous number of screws. Look at all these. That's how many screws hold this door on. I'll stick them there and see if we can work our way around them. So I remember there was one up here. Get that one to line up. Okay. Then this covery thing clips back on. Okay. So this covery thing at the top actually needs to clip in at the top and at the bottom. What I had was the clip had stayed in the door rather than in the cover, so I've just popped that out of the door and I'm just going to put it into the cover because the cover has to hook on at the bottom before it then pushes on at the top. There's a little hook at the bottom of this cover and that needs to hook behind the door trim. Yep, like that. Goes in there. Like that, that's better. And then there's a hole. Like that. Is there another hook? Yeah, there's another hook. There's a couple of hooks at the bottom of this that need to go behind the door trim. And then it clips in. A bit like that. It's a funny looking thing. It doesn't look totally comfortable, but it's actually in and it's okay. So I'm going to go with that. Screws at the end. Delivery driver. Let's see if he's got something from me. There you go. I'm not winding these up tight. I don't think they need to be. You have one in here. So you put that. The one that was missing was this one, and it's not a bad one to be missing. I might have a look later to see if I've got any similar screws in my kit boxes. I do keep random screws whenever I find them, because I'm a sad sack like that. There we go. I can see that JVC speaker behind there. You can't really make out the label, so it doesn't matter that it's, you know, turned through 90 degrees. But I can see the grill isn't touching it, which is really good news. So I don't want any vibrations, any noises to come out of that. Right, so how many screws have I got? 4 screws left. So I need to put this jobby back on, and there was a handle to go back on as well, wasn't there? So let's put this back on first. That goes in there, this goes in here. looks like this hooks under this end first, and then goes in like that, kind of clips in like that. It's quite easy actually. So the trouble with these things is you don't know how it's done until you've done it, so you almost want to watch the video backwards. Should have said that at the start really, shouldn't I? Sorry, it's not very helpful. Still, if you watch it all the way through, you'll know. It's the impatient that don't. And I'm guilty as much as anyone else of that. Right, so 3 screws hold this in. And that's done. That was done. That was done. I've got 1 screw left here, and I'm actually short where it came from. I've done that one. I've done the 2 on the ends. That one was missing. I've done that one. And that one. And that one. Which one haven't I done? Well, maybe I'll do that one that was missing before. After all, that's back on there, which is nice. You'll notice there was no speaker behind there. That sort of looks like a tweeter hole, but it isn't a tweeter hole. I'm going to put this in here because there's a hole there. I'm not exactly sure where the other one went. Maybe there was one there and I just miscount. Well, that's jolly good if that's the case. Right, back to this thing. And you'll remember there was a washer, wasn't there? So where is that washer? Because that washer needs to go back on. Oh, there it is. There's the washer. It's domed inwards, I think. So yeah, domes into the door, and then this. The final position on this. See if we can keep them the same. I'm going to wind the window up. Hope that hasn't. God, it has gone on. Alright, it's on. It's done. There we go. Right, so door check. All works. Radio check. Well, it's not making any horrible crackly noises, so there we go. JVC speakers. Connects 2 integration units. This stuff came from eBay, but it's a kit, and you can see the kit works. It just takes a little bit of time to do it, and I think it's going to make a massive difference in this car. So that was a 45-minute trip. I'm going to do the other one. It'll take me less time because I know what I'm doing now. Good luck with it when you do it, if you choose to do it. It's an hour and a half, and you've done 2 speakers in a car, and it makes it sound fantastic. Thank you for watching. Hit subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Take care.